Chatty Bobby. Welcome to Wrasslin with Big E and the PODCast, tag champs of the whole world, slamming like a DDT. Got it like just like a figure four. Hulk Hogan, all they do is flex. Talking wrestling while they get the dough. Off the top like a superplex. Think they laying up? Hell no. Dusty Rose with the elbow. From the corner like a stinging splash straight to the face. I know you felt those. Hey, y'all crying out for help though. Rising up like the dead man. About to go upside your head like Stone Cold with the bedpan. Bottom line, if you want the facts, welcome to Wrasslin where you need to be. Chatty Bobby, this show improved like John Cena, you ain't seeing me. Bottom line, if you want the facts, welcome to Wrasslin where you need to be. Chatty Bobby, this show improved like John Cena, you ain't seeing me. Yeah.
Hey, welcome to Wrasslin with them Wrasslin boys. I'm the POT alongside my tag team partner Big E, and we're here to bring you another episode of premium wrestling content. What's going on, bro?
What you know, brother? Welcome to Wrasslin.
Welcome to Wrasslin.
Hey, man, episode 56. And there's only one number we can use for that one. Lawrence Taylor.
I got a few. Lawrence Taylor, but we also got to go with Lindsey Melton. Lindsey Melton.
Oh.
LT, though, arguably the greatest defensive player to ever put on a pair of cleats in the NFL. Arguably. There's other.
Yeah.
Arguably.
Yeah. Ended Joe Theismann's career.
Right.
Man, you know, seeing that hit over and over again and to see how he was the first one for the yell for somebody to come out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, to help out. There's just something different about that dude, but he was still 100 miles an hour, you know, revamped the whole linebacker position.
Right.
You know, shout out Lawrence Taylor, man.
LT.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
A WrestleMania main eventer as well.
Yeah, with Bam Bam Bigelow.
Bam Bam, yeah, WrestleMania 11. So
yeah,
shout out to LT on that one.
Yeah. That's what's up. Hey, let's talk a little football, man, and get into it, man. It's welcome to Wrasslin, man. Let's talk a little college football. We had Ole Miss in Miami this week and Indiana and Oregon. Ole Miss in Miami was a game. Ole Miss in Miami was a game. Ole Miss was 22 seconds when Miami scored that last touchdown?
Yeah, I think it was 22. I think it was like 18 seconds. It was something ridiculous.
Right. And they still got the ball down there. You know what I'm saying?
Chambliss, man.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, referee, since we're talking about that game. And what an amazing game it was, man. Shout out to Ole Miss for fighting through and then they were a play away from making the natty. You know, but can you call pass interference on a Hail Mary? I mean, what do you think about that?
Well, one, I'm gonna say this right now.
Okay.
I was the umpire.
All right.
I didn't call pass interference. I had to deal with the hand fighting and the incidental contacts and the slight push off and the pick plays. That's a hard job. Now, look, before I go with my opinion, they don't never call that on Hail Marys and stuff. You never see them call pass interference. I've seen some stuff that was worse than what we saw.
Right.
You know, so
that's why I'm asking, because you never see that.
Yeah, you never see that call. However,
my boy guys.
Yeah, I know face is right there. But however, that is a tough way to end the game.
Yeah.
You know, because that would have been a 15-yard penalty. It's not a spot foul like NFL or anything.
Right.
So they could have snapped the ball from like the 35, so they would have got the ball to 20. They would have had one more play.
Right.
So that's tough. That's tough.
And truth be told, being at the 30 sometimes in that situation is better than being at the 20, because you still got a little bit
more space.
You got more field.
Yeah, because that really wasn't like a Hail Mary. I mean, it was, but it wasn't. They kind of ran a route and
it was a hope and a prayer. You know,
Yeah.
but So you say that really wasn't a Hail Mary. So
Nah.
then you say it never gets called on a Hail Mary. So if that really wasn't a Hail Mary, then like should have been a PI because Buddy was all over him before the ball got there.
I mean, that's true, but it still was a Hail Mary. Like I say
Mm.
it wasn't a Hail Mary because when you think of a Hail Mary, you think of a 50, 60-yard throw and
Yeah.
they just throwing it as far as they can and they got multiple receivers and DBs out there. Reason why I say it really wasn't a Hail Mary because they
How
kind of
close it
ran
was.
sort of like a play. Yeah, and
Yeah.
the throw was directly to the corner of the end zone like that.
Yeah.
But again, still last play of the game. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't call it or should
Mm.
call. I mean, it's unfortunate, but they never call that. And I don't know if that's like a thing that they say, hey, I don't know if it's, that it just the deep officials just don't have the balls to call it, at the end of the game. I don't know
Yeah.
what that is. So I try to stay away from that because I'm not a deep official. I
Yeah.
wasn't a deep official. But
Right.
you right though. He clearly had hands on him. I mean, they had hands on each other, but it was like the
He
defender was
almost
not
got
supposed to be
tackled in the
touching the
end
guy.
zone
Yeah,
before the ball got there, though.
yeah. So
The way to end the season. But hey, shout out to. Let me ask you this. Now, let's say what if, because it almost was a what if, because that fourth quarter was amazing. It was going back and forth, and you almost thought Ole Miss had it. You know what I mean? And then, like you say, 22 seconds, 18 seconds, whatever it was, came back and Miami pulls it off. Ole Miss goes to the Natty. Is Lane Kiffin looking dumb because you left? Because you want to get to the Natty, and here they are making it without you? Is that a bad look on him?
it goes both two ways here
Mm.
now. I heard he would have got like 750 grand if they would have made it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, to your point, it does make him look bad because it's like, okay, so I'm not no disrespect to Pete Golden for what I'm about to say,
Right.
but to your point, if they would have won that game and made it to the Natty, then they'd be like, well, hell, could anybody just coach this team to the national championship?
Yeah, that's true.
So I guess, and I know we don't know Lane personally,
Yeah.
but every man has some type of ego. I'm pretty sure part of him was like, damn, if they win, then that's gonna make me look bad, you
Yeah.
know.
But I'm
But
finna
at
get
the same
75,
time, yeah,
750 grand.
yeah. So it was kind of like a win-win for him.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel you. Well, Indiana, Oregon wasn't so close.
Yeah,
Um, I'm a believer.
he
I'm
ain't
a
lying.
believer. I'm a believer in that team. You always want to see what they can do the next year when you lose all your weapons.
Right,
Can they reload? Is it a one-time thing? You know what I
right.
mean? Flash in the pan or whatever. But Buddy is good, man. Mendoza. And of course, they got the little brother that's the backup. And they say that little brother is be on him, talking all kind of trash to him. Said, every time that he miss a throw in practice, he's all in the coach's ear. I can make that throw any day of the week.
But you know the little brother is not gonna be the quarterback next year.
Right,
They got the guy from TCU that's transferring to
right,
Indiana.
right. I'm just saying, I thought it was cool that his brother be talking
That his
cash
brother,
shit to him.
his brother keeps him going. Right.
Yeah. But we'll have to wait and see what happens with them.
I'm
But
I'm a believer in Signity, because again, to your point, we got to see what happens next year. But
yeah,
they was in the playoffs last year.
yeah,
The guy
true that.
wins everywhere he goes. So as far as him being a football coach, I believe in him.
Oh
Now,
yeah,
to your point, the talent though, are they going to keep? Because recruiting
yeah,
probably going to get better, but the portal is what really got them back in the game.
right.
So speaking of that, because to your point, Indiana definitely made everybody believer. and I'm sure they're gonna be the heavy favorites going into on Monday, the 19th.
Yeah.
Down in Miami and Hard Rock, where of course Miami would get to play in their home stadium, which is pretty cool. But there's something I wanna get your opinion on. You're a roll tider, and I like
Your life
Georgia,
longer.
and well, I like Georgia, but I'm also SEC biased. As far as I believe that SEC is the strongest conference. But we know that this is the third year in a row that it won't be SEC champion, won't be an SEC team in the championship game, third year in a row.
Right.
So I think there's more parity because of the NIL and the transfer portal. And I was listening to Ryan Clark and Cam Newton and all them guys on First Take. They were talking about it the past week, and they made a good point. And even Dan Orlovsky. What's going on is that, okay, all the top Southeast recruits go to SEC schools, right?
Right.
But in the years past, they had depth because the second string, third string guys, they had penalties as far as transferring. So they had to wait and sit and be patient for their turn. But now, with the way things is now, how they can just kind of transfer and go anywhere they want to go whenever they want to go, they're not going to sit 2-3 years to get an opportunity. So the depth is gone too. And now there's more of those studs that are going to other places and other schools, you know. But I still believe that the Big Ten is top heavy. This season alone, you got Ohio State, obviously, Indiana, and Oregon. Right?
Right.
All right. Penn State didn't do shit. They were supposed to be ranked high. They didn't do shit. Like Iowa, they
he was one of the first coaches to get fired.
Right. So it's not like the Big Ten is still as strong as the SEC as far as the week-to-week schedule. But another thing SEC did, they was losing the bowl games though. They was making the conference look bad, losing all them damn bowl games. So it's kind of hard to argue that in 2026.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with everything you say. I'm always be a believer. I'm not ashamed to say this at all. I am a SEC guy, but just because I believe they're always going to be the strongest, there's going to be the most competition, or it has been. You know, we'll see where it goes with the NIL, and once they start putting some rules and regulations to everything, because it's coming. It's coming. It's not going to be like this forever. You know, they're still going to be paid or whatnot, but all this transferring every year and stuff, they're going to cap that down to something, man. It's going to be, because you got different things people can do as far as the coaches and stuff. When your coach gets fired, okay, y'all got 30 days. Either you stand or you get in the portal. You know what I mean? But these guys going to play at 4 and 5, 6 different schools and getting, like you see, Trinidad, they denied him, so he got to go to the league. You know what I'm saying? So because he tried to get an extra year when he sat the one time, but he didn't redshirt. He had already redshirted. You know, so you can't get another year back just because you didn't play. You know what I'm saying? Shit, if that was the case, boy, you have motherfuckers in there 28, 29 years old.
Chris Winky.
All over the place.
Well, and the COVID and the COVID class, you know, they have 6 years.
Yeah.
You know, so them guys, they in their last year, all the COVID folks.
Yeah,
you know, they came in with COVID. So those that time is over.
Right. That's how the Shiloh got to stay for so long. Yeah. But it's Miami, Indiana. Like you say, it's in Miami's what I wanted to say is I don't root for the SEC. I don't hope they, you know, like, I'm pulling for, you know, Georgia because Alabama ain't in it. Nah, I don't do all that. I want Georgia to lose every time they step on the field. I want Florida to lose every time they step on the field. I don't care what they made the conference look like. But that's just me though. But it's set up for Miami, Indiana. Got Miami at their home field, which is wild. Like, it'd be like playing the Super Bowl at your stadium. You know what I mean? But
which and that didn't happen in the NFL till recently when Tampa did it and then the Rams
right.
did it.
Yeah.
But before them two teams did it, that never happened in the Super Bowl era in the NFL.
Right. Right. But so who you got? You got Indiana?
Yeah, I know that's the easy pick. Not saying it's easy pick. I mean, because they had to play the game in Miami, they a tough physical team. But
Yeah.
it just what Indiana been putting out there on film. I mean, it's hard to go against them right now.
Yeah. I'm
I
gonna pick
just
Miami to win.
okay.
I'm gonna pick Indiana to choke at the end.
That could very well happen.
You know, I think that Miami defense is tough. And I don't trust me. Like, I'm not a believer. I'm not a fan in all of them. I think Alabama just beat ourselves, and we should be in there and would have beat anybody. But and the referees and all that. So no, but serious though. I think Miami gonna pull it off. It's been a while. You know what I mean? They gonna have Michael Irvin over there. You know, so he gonna meet up with somebody before the game. He gonna be out there pulling that belt off, dog.
He get that Tony Montana on out there.
Man, bro, if he come out there with that fur coat, it's over with.
He go. He gonna have the period stuff down there.
Ain't got that shit down. Hey, all right. NFL playoffs started today too. With Carolina, LA. Boy, Carolina, just like Ole Miss, almost pulled it off, man. Almost pulled it off. Couldn't get it going in that last series. It came down to it. They wanted a PI, and it looked like they should have got one. And or not the PI, but the late hit on Bryce Young. So
right.
But it was pretty close. You know, but you got to be consistent with that stuff, man. If they're gonna make these the rules, you just got to be consistent. Plus, you got the review, so just make the call. If it ain't there, it ain't.
But they can't review the DPIs and judgment calls like that. Like if they call holding, they can't look at it like, well, he wasn't.
Well, I know about the holding stuff, but if you call that's with targeting when they review the targeting. Yeah. Anyway, man, hey man, you got to be consistent with that shit regardless. You know, because if you can look on the videos they made of these quarterbacks getting hit, nobody calling it, and then the stuff that Patrick Mahomes get, it's just, it's hard. It's hard not to see the favoritism.
Yeah, and they do that in all sports, though. Unfortunately, just like back Michael Jordan, you blew on him, he got the N1. Hey. LeBron James got called. All the star players. It's unfortunate because that's just like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel you on that. But one thing I can say they're consistent about, and I know you talk about late hit on this particular play, but even like calling something at the end of the game, it's rare that they call that stuff. And again, I don't know if that's what they being told, or they just don't have the balls to do that, or what. I don't know, because I know when I did high school and college, it wasn't like a conversation where they say the white hat didn't go on the pregame and say, "Hey, look, if we go down to the wire and if it's past your way, don't throw your flag." I mean, I never.
You never experienced that.
Yeah, I never heard that. That dialogue in the pregame. But I don't know if that's. I don't know if that's what the big wigs want in the NFL, or they probably like, hey, unless he just really tackled the guy. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we see it all the time, though. We see it all the time, and it is unfortunate.
Right. Well, so you picked the Rams go to Super Bowl, right? So they pulled it off. Carolina, shout out to Carolina, man. Bryce Young, all them guys, man. Hey, man, it was right there. Gave them a game.
Yeah.
And then we had Green Bay and Chicago today. Green Bay was up 21-3 at halftime. Chicago ended up coming back and winning.
Chicago did what they did, dude. They've been doing that all season, man.
Yeah.
No lead is safe with them.
Right. Right. But nonetheless, You didn't get no Rudy Poo. It was good football today. Good
Absolutely.
football. So tomorrow we got the Bills and the Jags, and your boy Josh Allen, 49ers and the Eagles, and the Chargers and the Pats. And then Monday you got the Texans and the Steelers. So you still hanging with your the Rams and the Bills?
Yeah, I'm not gonna change it now.
Yeah.
I just think now let's be real. The last month of the season, the Rams is not playing good football. And
Right.
normally the hot teams are the ones that go to the Super Bowl. So
Right.
I'm kind of skeptical with picking the Rams. The only reason why I stuck with the Rams is because I think they the one team, as far as an NFC, that I felt like can win a game in multiple ways. They can
Right.
run the ball and beat you. They can pass the ball and beat you.
Okay.
And their defense used to be good enough to be decent, but I don't know now. They looking shady, man. They
Yeah.
looking shady, and maybe a win like this could wake them up and propel them.
Yeah.
But they looking shady, man. So
Yeah.
I'm scared of that pick, but I'm not gonna go against them. I think they have a good enough team. I know they could beat the Seahawks.
Right.
They beat them one. They should have won the second time, but coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Right.
So
you got two big stories as far as Stafford and Rodgers. Them being probably gonna be their last year, so and they go out like Peyton did. You know what I mean? Last year in the Super Bowl win. So it's gonna be tough. Like I say, especially the way they've been playing, and the Steelers just got in. Remember how that game was last week? You know what I mean? So they just barely got in. So we'll see how they do against that Texans defense. And yeah, man. So well, let's talk about what we came to talk about, and that's a little wrestling. And boy, do I got a story to tell you. So let me just set the mood for y'all. And this week they had a autograph signing and a Q&A for Abdullah the Butcher. Look, not doing good health-wise. And it's also his birthday weekend. So tonight, Saturday night, was the birthday party. So last night, Robert Gibson, one half of the Rock and Roll Express, invited me to go with him. So went over to his house. We rode out there. We got there about 5:30. And it was supposed to start right at 7 when they start doing the autograph signings and stuff. And then at 8 o'clock, 7:45, 8 o'clock, they would have did the Q&A, and then you could have got autographs afterwards. So we get there about 5:30. We walk in. There wasn't a lot of people advertised for it. There wasn't really no advertising at all, really. When he told me about it and invited me to come, I looked it up on the internet and stuff and was trying to see who all was going to be there. And I found like one thing on Facebook and one thing on Instagram. There wasn't no website or nothing set up for it, nothing like that. So this is who they had advertised. So they had Tommy Wildfire Rich, who was there, Tony Atlas, who was there, Teddy Long, Randy Rose, both of them were there. I believe one of the Harts, I think it was Ross Hart, I think. Okay. So don't, I'd have to look and see again. Had a guy that I never heard of, and he was actually worked under Stu for years in Canada. Old guy. I'm talking about old, like he was probably in his 80s. You know what I mean? So yeah, he was. And then they had a Nature Boy, Paul Lee. He was there. He was advertised. Old enhancement talent from WCW, NWA, indie wrestler for the last, been in the business probably 40-something years. Robert Gibson from the Rock and Roll Express, he was there. So Mike Youngblood, who was did some stuff in WWE and stuff like that, but it's been in the business about 30-something years, but mostly indie stuff and does a little MMA stuff on the side. Haku was supposed to be there. He didn't show up. Barbarian, and Ron Simmons, and neither one of them showed up. So set the stage for who's there. So when we get there, you know, as soon as we go in, of course, when Robert go in, all the wrestlers that are already there in the lobby, they start going crazy and running up and hugging him and stuff and all that. And then he, you know, Corey introduced me to everybody. First guy I met was Teddy Long, and you know, just chopped it up, stuff like that, and met everybody that was there. So there's like 2 fans that are there, but they know these guys so good because they go to everything that they're at.
Right.
Everything. So this one guy, man, he was sitting, you know, Teddy Long sitting down, this guy all over. I remember we used to take their rain jackets in the NWA. I've been wanting to meet you forever, my brother. You know what I'm saying? It was white dude. Hey.
My brother.
Right. And this guy, and by the end of the night, this guy is toasted. You hear me? And so he's going up to everybody. He pulled Tommy Rich. He pulled his phone out, put it in his face. He was like, "This is the first picture we ever took together." And I'm just like, man, I said, this is why.
Back in '89,
right?
Augusta Civic Center.
Right. You're my best friend. You know what I mean? I love. Hey, first of all, Teddy Long left early because Abdullah didn't show up till like 9:30.
Leave it.
9:30, and the like people were getting mad. They didn't understand. Then bro, it wasn't no fans there. Everybody that was there was either with somebody or a part of Abdullah's family. So, like I say, and you had enough names. Let me tell you this, man. As far as Georgia and in the Atlanta area where it was at the old Marriott where we went to the Fan Fest that one time.
Yeah, okay. They're called from the West End and stuff, Riverdale Road.
Yeah. Now it's called like the Wyndham Garden or something like that.
Okay.
But that's exactly where we were at. And I'm gonna tell you something funny in a minute that I wanted to say, but I didn't say it. So at like 8:30, they were saying Abdullah wasn't coming. Okay.
Damn.
So he wasn't even gonna be there. So you had a few fans that finally showed up. And bro, what a sight. So then the it's still real to me, damn it, guy walks in. He's there. He goes to everything and wears the same shirt. And it looked like he had some shirts made. Yeah. That's the last one he got because it used to be black. But it looked like, you know what I'm saying, it was damn near gray.
Yeah, like charcoal.
Right. So, and if you don't know who it's still real to me, damn it, guy is, I'm gonna play a little clip for you. And he went viral a couple years ago. It was a High Spots Q&A hosted by Bill Apter with Bobby Eaton, Dennis Condrey, Terry Funk, and Jim Cornette. And I'm just gonna play this for y'all real quick so you know who we're talking about.
Next question, Jeff. Where are you? Right there.
Yeah. I just want to thank each and every one of y'all for all you've done to your bodies. It's still real to me, damn it. I mean, thank you.
Easy, man.
Thank y'all guys. Y'all are awesome. Thank you so much, Mr. Funk, for saying what needed to be said. I don't want to see another one of these.
Well, thank you very much, too. I really mean that sincerely.
And, sir, I'd just like to hear each of your recollections of a true legend of business, Captain Redneck Dick Murdoch. Please.
It's still real to me, damn it.
That guy thought he was a 6-man tag with the hardliners.
Hey, So he walks in. He got there before any of the other few fans that got there.
Okay.
He walked in, man. I had to turn my head, dog, because he had his shirt on. I was like, oh man, it's and I'm standing next to Robert now, so they automatically think I'm in the business.
Right.
They come to shake my hand and everything. You know what I'm saying? Hey, so yeah, having nice to meet you. You know what I'm saying? And I shook his hand and I'm like, dude, this is the biggest mark in the whole wide world.
Who would have thought you were Vader?
I would have been like, so then this is old dude that's got one of those old school selfie sticks.
Yeah. Oh, damn.
And he's going around recording everything. He trying to do interviews and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So he recording everybody. So they finally tell him, like, no,
chill out. Yeah.
You're not finna interview. Let me tell y'all something else. A lot of these wrestlers, this is how they pay their bills now.
Yeah.
And that's my autograph signings and stuff. And they're not all like that. But some of them, that's their only income. They haven't saved anything. And we're not talking bad about this. Is well-known knowledge.
Right.
We've watched enough shit to know what we're talking about here as far as, you know what I'm saying? So, it was really sad at one point when I was just looking down. I was at the very end of they go down to the lobby right here, and they had a line of tables, and then they had the little room for the Q&A. So I'm down there at the very bottom, very end, and Teddy Long, everybody just sitting there bullshitting, talking and stuff. And I just looked down, and like you had a couple of guys, some people I didn't know, they had DVDs and stuff, and just, a bunch of anyway, nobody's there to sign anything. Nobody's there to buy nothing. It was a few people. And I'll tell you like this, I don't care, to say it, like, bro, Robert Gibson just brought a little bitty stuff and sold more than anybody. You know what I'm saying? He still made a couple dollars. You know what I mean? And, like, everybody still gravitating to the Rock and Roll Express. You know what I'm saying? So, but it was cool, especially getting to meet them before all the crap got involved about, the money situation and ain't nobody coming and what kind of marketing that they do for, what kind of, stuff like that. And it was like, and I told him, I said, man, I said, when Hoot told me about it, I said, I looked it up on the internet. I only found like one thing that was on somebody's Instagram page, and then, so it's crazy. You had a couple of guys left early and didn't even do the Q&A, so, but, they started to do the Q&A and stuff, and, and it was real cool. You know what I mean? I was checking in at going out there looking at the Indiana-Oregon game because I wasn't just trying to be right there on his hip the whole time I was there. You know what I'm saying? Seeing guys I ain't seen in a while and stuff like that. But, you know what I'm saying? We had a good time as far as the social part and everything like that. And everybody was cool. Nobody had bad attitudes or nobody, you know what I'm saying? As far as like interaction.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of them was pissed because of the time and all that stuff. So Abdullah finally got there, was in a big old wheelchair / hospital wheelchair, one of the big ones. You know what I'm saying? He could talk pretty good, but wasn't no moving or nothing. So yeah, man, it was just sad, man. So they had the birthday party tonight. Now I didn't go to that. Like I was, like I say, the interactions and stuff was cool, but it was hard to see some of that stuff. And then it's hard to hear, because when they get to drinking and get to talking, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know how you say is, you never want to meet your hero because you're always going to be disappointed. Then you start hearing them stories, you know what I'm saying? And then it comes to them stories on guys that you look up to. or that you think are the best or the greatest, and this, and then you start hearing what kind of person they are, what kind of experience they had. Man, it ain't all fun to hear that stuff. You know what I mean? It's cool. Some of them stories are cool, but you really find out a lot about the people that you really don't want to hear.
Yeah, cause that's their peers. That's the boys.
Mm-hmm.
And they know them. We're just fans, right? To your
Right.
point, and that goes with anything. Like I say, any of the heroes, whether if it's a actor, whether it's
Yeah, football player.
a ball player,
Mm-hmm.
a CEO of a Fortune 500 company, you
Right.
meet, it's yeah. So I understand that aspect of it.
It's hard to look up to somebody and find out everybody and their grandmama thinks they're an asshole. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's really tough right there. Because
And I ain't
it's
gonna,
kind of hard to
yeah,
explain that one.
yeah, and I ain't gonna mention no names or nothing like that because they not my stories to tell, and I ain't here to tell
Right.
you everything I just heard and all that stuff. Well, of course I tell you, but we ain't finna tell everybody.
No doubt.
You know,
No doubt.
you know what I mean. But the interaction was really cool. Made a couple of connections. I hope they pan out. But I tell you, never met Tommy Wildfire Rich before, but never in that atmosphere. And what just a cool dude. Robert's cool as hell anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I was already having a good time, but everybody was cool. Everybody, Teddy Long, super cool, and talked just like he does on the, on screen.
I mean,
Hey,
how at your player?
yeah, hey player. You know. So yeah, man, had a good time. It was definitely an eye opener, because you see that stuff all the time, and the stuff we've been to is I've never been to nothing that small.
Damn.
The things that many of you've been to that I've been to have been huge. So any interactions you get, you're lucky to get them. You know what I'm saying? But man, when you just sit there and then nothing's going on, and you see people just sitting there just banging the Sharpie on the table, waiting for somebody to walk up and
Damn.
buy. Yeah, man, it's rough. It's definitely rough, and you can tell. You can tell who. You can tell who needs it and who who value it. I ain't gonna say they don't need it, but you can tell who's hurting and who's ain't.
You
You
know,
know,
and something like that, like you said, that's how a lot of them pay their bills, and a lot of guys, because there's a lot of wrestlers in their 60s and even 70s and still out there in the indie scene
right,
working.
right,
And so them guys, and a lot of them guys can't work no more,
right.
obviously. And so, like you said, that's how they make their money. But them things are not cheap. Because like, what
Mm.
tell everybody what the ticket price for this event was.
I was like 90.
Exactly. And
Yeah,
then you get in there 90, and then they selling T-shirts and DVDs and pictures and stuff. So you can come out easy 150, $200 going to them
easy,
things, and
easy.
but it's unfortunate because whoever the promoter was, they didn't get much promotion. They didn't market it correctly,
Right,
and it's very unfortunate for the talent because, like you said, a lot of them they were dependent on whatever that they was promised or whatever they were told, the estimated amount that they potentially was going to make, and then
right.
you telling me that there was like 5 to 10 fans that came the whole night. Now
Yeah.
I want to address the it's still real to me, damn it, guys. Uh, it's funny. It's funny because he was over the top, but you know what, man? Uh, I kind of felt him. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah, no doubt.
being a fan, yeah, he got all emotional, but I can only imagine how they felt when I mean, they see him all the time, so it ain't like his old, I don't know this guy, 'cause like I said, he go to everything, but when he was like them putting their bodies on the line and all this other
Yeah,
stuff,
and that's true.
yeah, he showed a whole different appreciation. He showed his emotion, and yeah, it's funny because it was funny and he was over the top with it. They probably look at this guy like this guy's crazy. But at the same time, he was so passionate about being a fan, and he wanted to show them how bad, tell them how much he really appreciate them entertaining us and putting their bodies and their lives on the line. You
Yeah.
know, getting slammed on that plywood and running them steel cable ropes, and or taking a bump on the concrete outside the
Mhm.
ring, and all that kind of stuff, man. So yeah,
And you're in the era. This is the era where the guys believe that I'm going to give you everything I got, whether there's 20,000 people there or 200 people there. No
absolutely.
matter what, I'm gonna give you everything. You know what I mean? And so I feel you. And let me give him credit on this too. So I also saw an interview one time that he did when they talked about it and stuff. He was like, he was like, look, he said, if people making fun of me for that means they're leaving somebody else alone, and I'm cool with that. You know what I mean? So I thought that was big. It also, you can tell, guy was picked on big time. Growing up and stuff. You can just, I mean, come on, you can just tell. But I mean, let's be real now. You can tell who who had a good time in high school, who didn't. you know,
Fact, fact.
and not saying that that's okay.
Nah,
Because it's
but
not
that's facts though. That's life.
right, right. So so I feel it though, and I mean, you got to be able to laugh at yourself anyway.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but when I tell you, dog, when I seen him walk in, I was like, oh hell no. you know what I'm saying? But like I said, I didn't go to the birthday party tonight. Ain't no telling who didn't show up at that thing.
Or who would have showed their ass? You know what I
Right,
mean?
right, right,
Literally.
right. Yeah. So, but like I said, we made a couple connections, capital connections, and we'll see if they pan out. But man, it was really, I tell you what, and this happened to me before, but when you meet some wrestlers are so skeptical to get caught talking to somebody because they don't want to answer the same questions they've had to answer 9,000 times that day already.
Yeah.
So when you're with somebody, then they're just their salesman and they're just end up being cool as hell. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. They let
So
their guard down.
right, right. Because if I'd have just seen them out in the street, it'd have been a different story.
Right.
Majority of the time,
Right.
So, but yeah, man, that was some kind of experience, but it was cool. The ride home and talking about it, or the ride back to Robert's house, might have been the coolest part. So, but yeah, man, shout out to Robert Gibson, man. Yeah, man, that was awesome. But like I
Rock
say,
and roll.
yeah, man, the interactions was great. You know what I'm saying? So, and the Q&A was cool too. They got they wasn't doing nothing but giving each other props. That's the whole thing they did. And then when Abby came in, and then of course they all told stories about him. But it was cool. It was cool. It was very eye opening. You know what I mean? Up here.
No doubt.
Yeah, yeah. So, but let's talk about a little bit of wrestling, man. That's happened this week. Braun Breaker and CM Punk for the world title. We thought it was going to be shenanigans. We kind of knew that CM Punk wouldn't lose this early, and there was shenanigans, but he still kind of won clean a little bit. As far as Penta and Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio coming over to fight the Vision off, which is crazy because they're the biggest guys out there, and then the smallest guys out there come and fight them off. Justice will prevail.
Yeah,
But
it's like the luchadors versus the beast.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right
But
then.
yeah, match was good. But yeah, man, that was something that I think everybody was looking forward to, and they definitely delivered. That Frankensteiner off the top was nasty, scary. That's the second time he's fell on his head in the last month or two. So yeah, man, he needs to tighten up with that stuff. But still is a monster. And I think he's so built that stuff it probably saves him with the neck muscles and all that stuff.
Right.
Because like when Scott Steiner used to do that we used to do the body slam backwards, man, he used to spike himself every time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get scared every time you do that Frankenstein. Every time you get up on the ropes and he be like, I'll be like,
And he's so fast with everything, so much momentum every time.
Yeah.
He ain't no little dude, man.
No.
But I tell you what he is, though. He's definitely the future. He's definitely the future. He will be world champion. It might not be right now. And we'll see what things pick up. Because WWE, they so quick to break up a faction anyway.
Right.
Unless it's the bloodline. You see, they broke them up and they did them like NWO, split them up and all that stuff. But Monday will be very interesting. Very interesting. Got AJ and Gunther gonna be, so they'll be working a story. And as far as Raw was decent. You know what I'm saying? But they're in Germany now, in Germany for SmackDown. And SmackDown, what is Carmella Hayes and Shinsuke, bro, that was a banger.
Yeah, well,
that was a banger in Germany. And then we got Cody and Drew McIntyre in the 3 stages of hell. So Cody ain't no chump, man. He ain't no punk. He'll do some stuff. We've seen him in person do the moose all off the cage. He did a high one last night. It wasn't crazy high, but still, you're still up there 6, 7, 8 feet, jumping down on a whole nother body and land any kind of way wrong, you're gonna hurt something.
Absolutely.
So he's definitely a risk taker, definitely not scared, and definitely loves to put on the show. But Jacob Fatu shows up, beats the crap out of Drew McIntyre. Cody does the dumbest stuff ever, which is run over there and tries to fight him instead of just running out the ring. But he's too much of a babyface good guy to do that.
Right. Yeah.
And we've seen every babyface get costed for that one.
Yeah, costing the title.
Yeah, so Jacob Fatu ends up beating the crap out of Cody. Drew McIntyre escapes. And Drew McIntyre actually got to leave the building with the belt, which is big time for him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, no cash in or nothing.
Right. Just got to take the title home, got to take a shower, got to fly home, go wherever, or go to his hotel because they in Germany. Go to the hotel, So yeah, man, shout out to Drew. He deserves it. I'm definitely can't wait to see the story and how Cody gets it back before WrestleMania, just to lose it again.
Well, I mean,
Cody's gonna be the 18-time. The 18-time world champ.
I mean, that's possible, but it is intriguing though, because I think they did the right thing as far as with Drew winning the title. I mean, because it was like, if he didn't win now, when was you gonna put the title on him? But I'm gonna be honest, I didn't think they was gonna put the title on him.
I had no idea.
Yeah, so I did like the fact that they put it, especially on a SmackDown. It wasn't like this was the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. I mean PLE.
Yeah.
Where they have a title match, and because they'll do that. So now it makes you wonder: is Cody gonna be in the Rumble, or is he gonna get a rematch at the Rumble?
Yeah.
Then so who's Drew McIntyre? Is it gonna be Fatu? Or is Fatu gonna feud with Cody?
Right.
So there's gonna be a lot of questions that need to be answered on this road to WrestleMania.
Hey, Jacob left as a face, so is he back as a heel?
Right.
You gotta find that out.
He attacked Drew, So it wasn't like he
Right.
was going after Cody.
Right.
Cody was just wrong place, wrong time. He should have
Mm-hmm.
kept his nose clean and stayed out of the business. But like I said, he's the ultimate white meat baby face.
Yeah.
So of course he wanted to do the right thing,
Right.
and it ended up costing
Because every
him.
time.
Yeah.
Good guys always finish last.
Hey, just ask any woman.
Right. Bingo, bango. But yeah, man, that's pretty much what's been going on this week.
Hey, I want to address something real quick.
Go
You
ahead.
mentioned the banger between Carmelo Hayes and
Mm.
Shinsuke Nakamura. I want to talk about Nakamura for a quick minute, man, because I really feel like he's one talent that they underutilized for the 8 years or so, 8, 9 years that he been over in the States working for WWE. Because I get that they had the language barrier thing, but of course you have other Japanese
Crowd
talent.
loves him though.
Yeah, they love him, and even with the theme song and everything, and he's so flamboyant, and he's such a good worker though. His move set and everything, and it seems like when they bring him back, okay, the crowd responds to him. They love him, whether he heel or a face,
Mm.
and then he disappears for 6, 7 months, and then they bring him back. And it's not like he's reinventing himself. It's not like he's coming at this completely different character. He's still Shinsuke Nakamura,
Right.
where he's the Japanese Michael Jackson,
Right.
coming to the ring and doing all of that. And I just really feel like they really dropped the ball with him as a talent.
And it
And I'm
seems
surprised he's still over. I'm surprised he didn't go back over there and just just
it could be the money, man. Just make as
yeah,
much as you can while you can, then go back.
right.
Take all that money back home. But to me, dog, it also seems like every time they bring him back, he has a banger, then you don't see him again. Bring him back, banger.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Every time, man. Every time. And it's almost one of those things to where you sign somebody so the other person can't have them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You use them, everybody loves them, and then it's just whatever. He's had the U.S. title.
Several times.
Yeah, but that's as far as it goes. As far as upper echelon, you know what I mean?
Yeah, okay. Won the Royal Rumble
Mm-hmm.
in what was that, 2018?
Yeah.
And fought AJ, and which they had history from
Right.
New Japan.
New Japan, yeah.
Of course they didn't pull the trigger with that. Matter of fact, they had him and Oscar and going for both won the Rumble
Right,
that year.
right.
And that was the first women's Rumble.
Yeah.
But both of them lost. Oscar was undefeated,
Mhm.
and of course Charlotte won that match, and of course AJ beat Shinsuke. But to your point, he never got close to the title since then.
Right.
And
right.
it just seems like they utilize him, and then he goes away for about 5, 6 months, and then they bring him back, and then he goes away again, and then he'll be a heel, and then he'll be a face, and
Yeah.
I just really feel like they underutilize him,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe they just can't figure out how to package him.
Right.
But it seems like it's not because the crowd don't. He seems to be over. So I don't
Right.
know what's. I don't know, man.
I don't know. Hey, before we sign off, man, and tell these good people good week and good day, all the thousands and thousands of listeners, don't forget to like, comment, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Or if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Talk about New Japan. It's the end of an era in New Japan. They have disbanded the Bullet Club. They going by a new name now. I can't really remember what the name is, but they have disbanded the Bullet Club. The Bullet Club, if if you don't know what the Bullet Club is, it was a huge faction in Japan that was sort of like the NWO, kind of got, just a lot of cool stuff they were doing. A lot of the gaijins, the Americans, or not the people that are not from Japan over there, started and had a couple guys with them too as well, but started the Bullet Club. It was Finn Balor, Prince Devitt, Fale, Tama Tonga, and Carl Anderson. And then of course they brought in the Bucks and Luke Gallows and
AJ, man,
Kenny Omega, Jay White, just different versions.
Cody,
yeah. Not very, Cody, the stuff they brought from that did Ring of Honor and stuff, and being the elite and all that stuff that they would do, and just the Young Bucks and stuff that they carried on doing in Ring of Honor, then going to Japan, and being part of that. It was just real cool that you could be a faction in a whole nother company and then represent it in a whole different company. You know what I'm saying? So they brought the Too Sweet back, the NWO, the Wolf Pack, the Clique, started with the Clique, but brought that back, made that cool again. You still see AJ Styles do it. You still see Finn Balor do it. The Good Brothers still do it. All them guys still do it. But, you talk about the Bullet Club and how it really, put New Japan on the map, really opened up for New Japan and brought more eyes on them. And when Finn came to NXT, then that very night AJ showed up, or when they kind of kicked Finn out on his last night there. And then AJ showed up. And then AJ ended up in the IWGP Championship with the Bullet Club, finally being a heel. The Good Brothers, I don't know how many times they were tag team champs over there. Carl doing the Wrestle Kingdoms every year, all that stuff. Then you had the Kenny Omega era. Then you had Jay White take over, had that era that was really cool. So, hey man, shout out to the Bullet Club, man. And I wonder for a minute when they disbanded. I wondered, of course, you know how I do. I wonder if WWE bought, everything that goes to it and going to try to do something. You know what I mean? Because you got Cody, you got Finn Balor, and you got AJ over there, and you got Tama Tonga.
Yeah, and Tonga Loa.
Yeah, God. Yep.
Yeah, to your point with all that, of course, they always planted seeds, because even though we know as far as naming and copyright issues and stuff, WWE wasn't going to just call them the Bullet Club, but even they leaned into it where they had a couple of segments where Finn Balor ran into AJ and the Good Brothers backstage. Yeah. But even then with AJ, when AJ and the Good Brothers was together, they called them the Club.
Right.
Or we knew what they was referring to,
Right.
Yeah, they didn't come out calling the Bullet Club, but they was called the Club.
Right.
So but yeah, like you said, shout out Bullet Club, man, for lasting as long as they did.
Right.
And like I said, they really, if you look at the grand scheme of things and where they all, from then to now, where they all over WWE and AEW currently, that definitely was I mean, yeah, they wasn't in the WWE, and WWE's not around, no longer around.
Right.
But they definitely have to go down as one of the best factions
ever
wrestling history. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Because what was it, started 13, maybe earlier than that?
Yeah.
And then if you think about this, every show that you go to, WWE, AEW, somebody gonna have a Bullet Club shirt on.
Absolutely.
There's gonna be more than one. Somebody gonna have a Bullet Club shirt on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. So shout out to Bullet Club, man. I tell you what, that would be cool as hell though if they did bring it to WWE though. If they brought the right, that'd be cool. Well, hey, man, we got the Royal Rumble coming up. We got tons of things coming up. We got interviews coming up. Lockdown 1 today. Hey, man, welcome to Wrasslin over here. Life is looking good over here, man. It's just going to keep getting better and better. Better and better. But I will tell you this episode 56 is welcome to Wrasslin.
Welcome to Wrasslin.
All right, brother. Be easy.
Welcome to Wrasslin, Chetty Bobby. Welcome to Wrasslin with Big E and the PODCAST, tag champs of the whole world, slamming like a DDT. Got it like just like a figure four. Hulk Hogan, all they do is flex. Talking wrestling while they get the dough. Off the top like a superplex. Think they letting up? Hell no. Dusty Rose with the elbow. From the corner like a stinging splash straight to the face. I know you felt those. Had y'all crying out for help though. Rising up like the dead man. About to go upside your head like Stone Cold with the bedpan. Bottom line, if you want the facts, welcome to Wrasslin where you need to be. Chetty Bobby, this show improved like John Cena, you ain't seeing me. Bottom line, if you want the facts, welcome to Wrasslin where you need to be. Chetty Bobby, this show improved like John Cena, you ain't seeing me.